me, Tara Strong, aka Miss Minutes for Bama Geeks. I hope you're ready to watch, and if you don't, I will have to prune you. Stay on your sacred timeline.
And hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Happy Sunday night.
That's right.
Guys, that intro never gets old.
I know.
love it. She is amazing.
Well, hopefully we're going to be able to sweet talk some more people into doing some stuff for us at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we working.
Yeah.
Brock's got dirt on everybody.
Oh, well. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm Brock Parker. That's my wife, Jessica.
Hello. Good evening.
Down below is Kevin Gardner. And below Jess is Bo Bearden.
Howdy, howdy.
We are the Bama Geeks. Thank you so much for joining us live here on YouTube and later if you're watching later or listening to later.
Yeah.
And, well, Ice Knight 81.
Hello,
right
Ice
off the
Knight.
bat. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks
sir.
for joining us.
Yeah, glad you're here. Appreciate it. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about the NeverEnding Story tonight, that 1984 classic that I saw for the first time last night.
It's only been, how many years since it
40.
came out? Yeah.
40, it's had its 40th anniversary.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's another. Yep.
Oh, there's Noah.
Hello, Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Falcor.
Yes, I have a comment about
Brock
Falcor.
got to experience the late stage trauma.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
He's got notes, everyone.
I got notes.
Oh, my
I-
gosh.
He's
hey.
got notes. Yeah.
Mainly
All right,
because
calm down, Ebert.
Look, the reason I have notes is because it has been 40 years and my short-term memory is trash now.
Yep.
So I had to take notes. But before we roll into it, again, we just want to thank you so much for being a part of us tonight. And thank you already for the live chat going. If you got things that you want to throw in as we go along during this episode, please do. And we'll acknowledge your chats on the screen. If you missed us last time, missed the big announcement, we got BamaGeeks.com.
We sure do.
Ooh.
Look at there.
Dun-dun.
That website is live. A lot of cool things on it. You can listen to every audio episode. The latest one will be featured at the top of the homepage. All these videos from our YouTube channel is brought into the site. All of our live streams brought in. We've got a blog on there. This past Monday, I wrote about the 30th anniversary of Star Trek Generations and why it means so much to me. So just another little tool that we can use for that.
I hate to stop you, Brett. While you're on Generations, did you see that special video they did?
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yes.
where the Roddenberry Archives and Otoy.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
I didn't mean to derail what we're talking about, but I at least wanted to see. I was hoping you'd seen that. I was made aware of that. I was made aware of that last night, and
That was emotional.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fact with the fact that William Shatner and Nimoy's estate, the family, that they approved of it, and it was, If you haven't seen it, look up Unification from the Roddenberry Archive, Otoy on YouTube. It's what happens after Spock discovers Kirk's grave in Star Trek Generations. Spoiler. It's only been 30 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, check that out for sure. So I wrote about that this past Monday. That was the 30th anniversary. And then a really cool feature that we hope you'll take advantage of is down in the bottom right-hand corner of the website. And Kevin had some fun with it the other day.
No, that was totally not Kevin.
That was totally not Kevin leaving the voicemail. Yeah, there's a microphone icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the website on mobile, on desktop, doesn't matter. Click that. Leave us a voicemail. Talk to us. Use your voice. And what we'll do is we will play that on an episode.
We want to hear from you, the audience.
Literally, we want to hear. So go to BamaGeeks.com, lower right-hand corner, hit the microphone, leave us a voicemail. We'll get it. And as long as you keep it nice and clean and decent, we will use it.
Okay, well, totally not. Kevin wants to know where his are. You need to play them.
Do you remember how I just said that I had to take notes for short-term memory?
Oh, okay.
I didn't write that note down. I'm sorry.
Oh, dang.
I completely forgot, honestly, till I just mentioned the voicemail.
Bless him. It's okay. Bless
Yeah.
him.
But yeah, and you can leave a review over on Spotify or iTunes, anywhere, and that will actually populate into the site automatically. So you can see at BamaGeeks.com what people are saying about the show. And I think that's really, really cool. Let me pull up. Let's see. All right, Ice Knight says, I saw that and I was afraid to touch it. Believe me, we've heard that before. Says,
all right, Patreon episode's over, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what she said.
Yeah, never seen a microphone like that before. Yeah, so click on the microphone if you want to say hi to us audibly, and we'll use it.
We just learned that Nice Knight has a microphone phobia.
And I'm sure there's a name for it somewhere out there.
I'm sure.
And I'm really interested to learn that. But also,
I was like, I'm gonna take
I'm gonna go look it up.
We're both Googling that. So while he's doing that, hit us up on social media everywhere, including now Blue Sky. We are on there at Bama Geeks. And you can also on Facebook, if you don't have Facebook phobia, you can look up Bama Geeks Front Porch on Facebook and join us there. And before we start, apologies to our Patreon members who have been paying full price over at patreon.com/Bama Geeks. Patreon just introduced this like this week or something. It's the first time I saw it was this week. Tell you what, if you want to join us over at patreon.com/Bama Geeks until Cyber Monday at 11:59 p.m. from now until then, you get your first month at 75% off if you use the code Bama Friday.
What a savings. Look
Yeah.
at that. And you don't have to fight anybody for it. There's no
You guys can listen to us jaw on for 75% off, baby. That's about where it should be.
This is Ronnie Marchant going out of business sale type values.
Hey, look, it should be roughly $1, and that's about what it's worth. Sorry.
Can we reformat our Bama Geeks logo to be in the standard furniture logo format?
They're slashing prices on our Patreon.
That's right.
Don't miss this deal.
So from right now until December 2nd at 11:59 p.m., 75% off your first month. It's $1. If you want to check us out for $1, all the behind the scenes stuff, let me tell you, when the one we just recorded a few minutes ago, when it drops tomorrow or Tuesday, yeah, you're going to be like, yep, there was $1 and I overpaid.
That's what she said.
So use that code Bama Friday, patreon.com/Bama Geeks.
All right, so for the fear of microphones, it's one of those obvious names, but it's microphonophobia. So there you go.
Microphonophobia.
Don't you be casting those spells at me, Harry.
Yes.
Oh my! All right, and of course, if you want to join us on YouTube, you can do that too. I don't have a discount code, but we do have a 99-cent tier that'll give you emojis and stuff. If you just click the join button below to join our YouTube channel, we got that as well. So anyway. Trust me, it's okay if you just want us for free because that's really what we're worth.
We just enjoy the time that we spend with y'all.
Yeah, we love you guys.
This is just hanging out with you guys. So, I guess we're going to talk about a little old movie from a few years ago.
It's been at least a couple.
So I'm resizing my screen so I can see the comments on my.
Many American presidents ago.
Or score.
It was a good year. Reagan was in the White House.
Yeah.
Ghost and Ghost was a gas.
Transformers were on TV. Even the GoBots had a cartoon. He-Man. Oh my goodness.
1980. Another great classic from the year of 1984.
Yep. Ghostbusters.
Kmart was still popular and around in America.
So was TG&Y.
Yeah.
I think Zara was still kicking.
Yeah. Oh my. This is going to be fun.
And I was a 7-year-old child. Turned 7 that year. So
I was 8.
there you go. You turned 8.
3.
3.
Sounds
How about you?
right, Bo.
Okay.
We was little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, so all right. So the not last episode because we had JD on with Spec Squad with us, but the episode before that we got into a discussion about different movies and all that. I have not seen. Ice Knight says Kmart Blue Light Special cookies.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that Kmart cafe was awesome.
it was.
It had ices too.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Anyway.
the last one in America just closed recently.
Mm-hmm.
A sad day.
Oh, womp womp. Man, Blue Light Special is always good, even though I didn't have money to buy stuff. Mom took advantage of it.
Yeah.
My nose just started itching. I'm sorry.
Right.
So a couple episodes ago, we got into it with the live chat with the audience.
Not bad.
No. Yeah, it was not in a
Hey.
combative way. It was Brock, you have not seen these movies, and so I made a list from that live chat, and was urged that the first one I needed to see was NeverEnding Story. So last night, for the first time ever, I watched it. Before, did you guys do a refresh of it?
I don't need to.
I kind of did a reread of it because I was like, I thought I had a copy of it, or I thought I could find it on streaming, and unfortunately, neither was at my disposal. So
Yeah, we had to pay the $4 through Amazon to rent it. But let me tell you, it was a worthwhile $4. I do not have the childhood memories of this movie, so as my wife lovingly reminded me last night, you were seeing this through the eyes of a nearly 50-year-old man. Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, as soon as you get to it, Brock, I gotta ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
And I didn't ask you a question. I know you probably wrote this down, and I mentioned this in our Patreon chat, but who was your favorite character from the movie, and why was it the racing snail?
The racing snail was awesome. That guy could boogie. The giant rock-eating troll. I don't even know if he had a name, but the giant rock-eating troll that loves his limestone rocks. You know, you can't go that fast on a snail.
Yeah, because it's a racing snail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a racing snail.
I do too after seeing that. And what really got me in that scene is I recognized them right off the bat. So we were trying to recognize people that, you know, at a younger age who were playing the characters. And as soon as they got to that, I'm like, that's Deep Roy.
And see, I just realized that for the first time because it's been a long time, even though I'm very familiar with the story. It's been a long time since I had viewed it since we watched it last night. So it was like, it sure is.
Yeah. Of course, my first introduction to him that I remember is the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. He was all the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw him, I'm like, that's a young Deep Roy. How about that? I like him a lot. He's been in a lot of other things. He was in Star Trek, the Kelvin timeline. He was in engineering with Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Scotty. Yeah, he was in there as that creature. It was funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. But so back in the 80s, they really, really made sure to tie in movies to theme songs. Or tie the theme songs into movies.
Right.
I mean, like we were just discussing 1984. I mean, Ghostbusters. Ray Parker Jr. had a massive hit with that. And it was a song just about ghost busting, you know?
Right.
Who you gonna call?
That's right.
And this song didn't have the same impact. This NeverEnding Story song, at least for me, I'd heard it before, but this song was atrocious. The opening song.
Brock, I don't know what.
Here we go.
Dude, let me tell you something. And I mentioned this before, but it's been stuck in my brain all day. I listened to the song twice and it still won't get out of my head. It's like a carnivorous earwig. Like you remember the Star Trek where, you know, Wrath of Khan, where he puts the things in the ear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that song.
Yeah. Ice Knight says, yep, Lamal really made that song stick. Well,
it's no St. Elmo's Fire, you know.
Yeah.
Right. It is.
Yeah. Made that song stick. Please pass the Pam cooking spray so I can unstick it. It was memorable, but not in a good way. But like I said, I had heard that song before, but I had forgotten about it. And then as soon as the movie fired up and it kicked off, I'm like, oh, this song.
Right off the bat, baby.
Right off the bat.
It's like thawing out Mariah Carey for Christmas, and you start hearing it, and you're like, oh my gosh.
So, yeah. One neat thing in mentioning Atreyu, the main character. Well, I guess
You're gonna go right to it.
One of the main characters, cause Bastion, was the other main. I guess they were co-main characters because I kept flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, he was. No. Atreyu was the main character in the book itself,
Right?
But Bastion was kind of in it because spoilers. He was the savior. He was the
right.
one that,
but they're kind of like co-main characters of the entire movie.
Yeah, kind of got equal screen time.
Yeah. Atreyu, I didn't know that's where that. I didn't know where I have a really good friend from high school that she named her son Atreyu, and then there's the band Atreyu. I didn't know where that name came from, and so there you go. I finally made the connection.
And you got it.
Yeah. But I don't want to run down my list of notes this quickly. Let's chit chat so I can.
Let's take the movie frame for frame.
This will be the NeverEnding podcast.
This will be this will be Peanut Butter Solution Part 2.
On the back of the racing snail, we'll be good.
Yeah. Up. Let's see.
Oh,
Noah says random and unrelated, but I'm coincidentally drinking out of the same Back to the Future musical cup as Brock. That's a review we need from you sometime.
Oh,
Noah. All right, here's the deal. I do want to review that, but not until Jessica sees it.
Yeah. He has been very he wants to tell me about it so bad, but
God, dude, it's
but
so good.
he wants me to see it. So,
and Kevin and I could easily review it right now, but Jessica and Bo have not seen it, and I want Jess. I haven't even told Jess what some of the special effects are.
Yeah,
I will not do
gosh.
it. I want her to see it in person, and in 2025 that should happen.
Yeah,
not in New York, but I've been told that the touring version is almost identical to the Broadway version in terms of effects and things of that nature. So that's cool.
Nice.
The Broadway's version is ending, I think, next month, isn't
it?
Or,
in January.
Yeah. It's January? Yeah.
Yeah. It ends January 5th, I think.
Yeah.
It's around the
and
first
that's going to be
month.
kind of the kickoff of their tour. So, yeah.
Yeah. They've already had it in Chicago and LA. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I know for a fact in LA because we got a buddy that went to it opening night. But yeah. So cheers, Noah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Noah says it was beautiful. Unfortunately, the Broadway run ends in January, but it is touring. Closest to us is in Knoxville, I believe. Noah, the closest to us that has been announced.
Wink, wink. That's all we can say.
Yeah.
So cheers to the musical cup for sure. Yeah, I absolutely have refused to drink out of this until today.
Yeah,
this is the first time since June that I've actually drank out of this cup because I don't want to chance it rubbing off or anything or But maybe we'll get a new see.
Yeah. Just
yes.
Just keep
we
an eye
can't
out.
Say anything else. Just
keep
watch.
eyes out. That's all.
No, I will get with you privately later.
Oh man,
I don't want to hold you in suspense, my man. So where were we?
We were gonna we just finished talking about the song, your notes on the
and
song.
how it didn't hit the same for you.
Right,
it didn't, and then Atreyu.
That was savage, man.
You mentioned about Atreyu.
That song is an absolute banger.
It was at 7 years old for me. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's all right. It's not one on the top list of favorite 80s songs for me.
No. I've not heard it on Sirius XM's 80s on 8 yet.
Yeah, they don't. It doesn't go into heavy rotation.
I did hear Pac-Man Fever the other day.
Yeah, maybe they'll throw it in there. Maybe they'll throw it into one of their lost tracks of the 80s segment they do on there. So
yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
And Brock, have you seen Dark Crystal?
Yes. I saw that in the theater back in the 80s.
Did you guys like kind of feel out the familiarity, like just the feel of it was really similar to Dark Crystal?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, well, and the same can be said for Labyrinth too. You know, the fantasy genre of the movies that came out in the 80s. Yeah.
And that
but only one of those movies had David Bowie.
So, well, that's true. Yeah, and we're going to get to that one. That's on
the list.
Yeah,
that's on the list.
Guys, I will repeat this. Brock hasn't seen Labyrinth. Okay.
Look.
It's
on the list.
At least now I can check off NeverEnding Story.
You got me think now. Also, was Legend on that list? Because I know that's kind of around the fantasy time.
No, but do I need to put it on there?
Probably so.
Yeah, I would do Legend.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't think about that one.
Legend.
Okay, Legend. Yeah.
We're talking about one and we're adding more.
Yes. Hey, we got future content. Yep. Future content, y'all.
So, I need to make a poll and put it in live chat for the next time. Anyway. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the scene. Well, first of all, since we've talked about the troll and Deep Roy and everything else, let me tell you that the puppeteering for a lot of stuff, fantastic. The practical effects were great. I loved seeing all the different practical effects. And so the troll eating the limestone, and he looked like Cookie Monster. He couldn't keep it in his mouth.
He were in danger of being knocked out by the falling rocks that were crumbs that were falling away. Yeah.
Before you get to that though, Brock, I do want to hit on one because I know that everybody knows the scene. We know what you're talking about. Yeah. But let's also talk about the kid who locked himself into an attic, and you know that would not happen today. There would be no way.
Look, this was the 80s. Okay.
Remember I said I had a thought that I didn't write down. This is it.
Oh, this is it.
This is it.
Okay.
Thank you, Kevin. Gerald McRaney, Major Dad and Simon is the kid's dad. The kid's mother, Bastian's mother, has died.
Yeah.
Which is standard Disney trope.
Right.
Even though it's not a Disney movie. The dad's telling him, look, I want you to do well in your math test. I want you to get your head out of the dreams and focus and, do everything, the typical 80s dad.
Yeah.
Typical my dad. Get your head out of the clouds, son.
Yeah.
And he's late for school because he's getting roughed up by a bunch of really mean kids.
Yeah.
Bunch of bullies.
Yeah.
Also very 80s.
Yeah, also very 80s. Gets thrown into a lovely orange dumpster.
Yeah.
And escapes and finds the book dealer. And the book dealer is creepy, by the way. Guy was a creep. Like, oh, you don't want to read this book. And then, looks through the windows like, yeah, he stole the book.
Yeah.
Anyway, creepy old guy.
Typical, reverse psychology.
Yeah.
You do not want this book. You don't need this book. And the kid's like,
all right, Obi-Wan,
I need it
now.
Yeah.
I need it now.
Yeah. So
these are not the books you are looking for.
So because he stops into this bookstore, he's late for school. He peeks in the window of the classroom and they're starting the math test and he blows it off. He's like, oh, they're starting the math test. I'm like, and so he goes and steals the attic key and runs up to the attic to read this book. And I'm like, didn't your dad tell you?
Yeah.
But that's also a trope, though, as well, Brock, because he blew off the nerdy math test to go use his imagination.
And the thing is, and he used his imagination well, as we saw at the end of the movie. But I imagine when he comes back to reality, his dad's going to whoop him.
This was the 80s, too, so yeah.
There was, did they still, I don't know, back in the 80s, if you didn't show up for school, they didn't call home and go, your child was absent from school today.
They whooped you.
It's like,
you went to the principal's office.
You get a paddling.
That's a paddling.
No, my teacher, you're not going to the principal's office. We're walking right outside this classroom door. I'm going to wear you out.
And it was double bad if you had a teacher that the title was Coach something, because they always had the worst stuff.
Yes.
Coach of the ag teacher.
Yes.
Typical 80s childhood, we'd go off for the day, and nobody knew where we were, and that was practically okay. You know, I mean, we just
drinking from the water hose, baby.
That's right. I mean, anyway.
So he goes into this attic, which is full of like there's a skull on the shelf. You know,
what kind of school is this?
I'm thinking he's at Hogwarts or something. The thing looks. I mean, it's.
It could belong to a biology or science class, but there was also other creepy things up there that you wonder why was in the school attic.
Yeah. And it made, as this movie went on and you saw everything that was happening both in the book and in his real world, it made sense that it would be a creepy attic. But what made it creepy before he got in there? What's the custodian doing?
Right.
That's the way.
He's too much puke with cat litter, I guess.
That's where I keep all my cat litter.
Yeah.
It was dusty enough.
Yeah, and when he took the key, I mean, the key, it looked like one of those, break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, eyesight theater props.
Yeah, they got a theater department. Yeah.
At least for the movie.
Right.
That's the excuse that the custodian uses for storing his bodies up there.
Yeah. That skull might not have been a prop. They need to check out that biology teacher. Something's going on in that class. But
hello, kids. We're not going to be doing frogs this year.
Yeah. But somebody had been breaking into that attic because like I said, where the key was stored was in one of those break glass in case of emergency type things, and the glass was already broken. He just stuck his hand in there, grabbed the key, and then took off to the attic.
Right.
So somebody doing something up there. He's reading a book, bless him for being innocent, but other people, man, I'll tell you. But we all had those friends in school.
Yeah.
So you have this kid that escapes his responsibilities and escapes his evil dad and goes and hides out in
Major Dad.
Yes, yeah, Major Dad. And he gets a book from a creepy old dude.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, honestly, it's like Obi-Wan giving Luke the lightsaber,
Yeah.
And then he goes and uses his imagination.
That's right.
Maybe instead of going to the top of the school, it was like the attic of that creepy librarian's shop or whatever. That would make more sense.
Maybe that's, yeah. Okay.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't either. I don't know where I was going. I was trying to follow that up. Yeah. So, they discover Deep Roy in the book, and he's got his racing snail, which is awesome. And
you have the rock biter and the nighthog with his stupid bat. Yeah.
And so that's what they discover. Atreyu is going to be this big warrior who's going to save Fantasia or go find a cure for the Empress. And that's where Atreyu, this little kid, walks up, and everybody's like, "Who are you?"
Right.
Well, that's Atreyu.
It's Atreyu. Yeah.
So this is Atreyu with
He's the warrior.
Yes, with his horse Artax.
No one likes talking about the horse.
Oh, I'm going to talk about this horse.
That's good. The horse is amazing.
I am glad that you think so. Because the scene that traumatized a whole bunch of kids in the 80s, apparently, where Artax, they get stuck. They're traveling, trying to find the cure for the Empress, and they get into the swamp of sadness. Is that what it was?
Yep, the swamps of sadness.
Swamps of sadness, and Artax gets stuck.
Yep.
Artax sinks.
Yeah.
He doesn't just get stuck. He gets stuck because he's sad.
Well, and it made everybody in their childhood sad.
Well, it did.
And that's understandable because, again, I'm viewing this for the first time in my late 40s. The movie, by the time this happens, has already been going on, what, 10 minutes?
No.
God, that's way far in. That's
Gosh,
like middle
no,
of the
this is
movie.
Okay, all right. The storybook
Okay.
part of it. The storybook part of it.
Right.
Meeting Atreyu.
Right.
Meeting Atreyu and getting to this scene took about 10 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That horse did not have time for character development.
He could have at least met the giant turtle.
Right.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, we'll talk about Morla in a minute.
We'll talk about the turtle. Don't you worry.
There was no amount of time to get emotionally attached to this horse. As a kid, and again, as a kid, I can see why it made you sad. But as an adult, it's like, we just met this horse and he's gone. What was my connection to him? Why would I be sad?
Brock had no connection to the
I had
horse.
zero connection to this horse. I understand it from a child's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the first time watching it, I'm like, that was a shortest amount of time for everybody to talk about that scene and be like, oh my gosh, it was terrible. And I'm like, I didn't even know the horse's name till right before he went under.
he said, and I quote, "That was it." I mean, that was it.
Hey,
that
it would have been far more traumatic had it been the racing snail. Okay.
It would have, because at least we got to see him move a little bit. The first thing we saw of Artax is he's just riding across the desert to get to the swamps of sadness, and then next thing you know, he got sad.
Brock's basically like, okay, I'm not gonna get all boo-hooey if my Uber goes and crashes.
Yeah.
Look, we had to pause. We had to pause after this scene was over with so we could discuss this. And again, it's like I said, if you got to think in the eyes of a 6, 7, 8-year-old child watching this movie, and this horse, this beautiful horse dies right in front of you. You're watching it sink.
Right.
And there's nothing. The horse won't move. The horse is like, and of course Brock's like, what do horses have to be sad about? He wants to know. He wants to know what was so consuming in this horse in his mind that allowed him to be consumed with the swamps of sadness and to sink into the swamp.
Well, okay, look, the movie has already set it up, and I don't know if you picked up on this, but the movie has already set it up to where Bastian is kind of in the eyes of Atreyu, right?
Right.
So, as a kid, we're already. I don't know if you felt this way, Brock, in any way, but you already kind of feel like you're in the book with him. When you're, especially as a kid, and that's what made it hurt so bad was because number one, you're a kid, right? Number two, yeah, we don't know who this horse is, but you're kind of feeling like you're Atreyu at that time, and you're losing your best friend, right?
Yeah,
that was what made it hurt so bad.
That's what I told him. I was like,
and I can understand that from a child's perspective.
I was like, yes, we only know our text for a short amount of time, but you have to think this has probably been Atreyu's horse for a long time. He probably was a small. They probably grew up together. He was probably a pony when Atreyu was a young boy, and they grew up together. So this was his companion.
And you have to remember when you're a kid.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you can use your imagination a lot better than us adults can.
That's true.
So, and the thing is this movie is a masterpiece when it comes to getting you to use your imagination.
Right.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So it hits different when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt worse especially as a dad. I felt much worse for Bastian, getting thrown into the dumpster.
The dumpster.
Yeah, at the beginning, because I had time to get used to Bastian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, this kid has a dad pushing him a little hard, which is the 80s. That's what they did to us.
Yeah.
And
he's dealing with the death of his mother.
He's dealing with the death of his mom. He realizes hopefully that he did the wrong thing by skipping the math test. He's been taunted by this really creepy old bookstore owner. So I've got that attachment to Bastian. Yeah, I've got the attachment to Bastian. I didn't have the attachment to Artax.
Yeah.
So
well, I think when we're older, we look at things differently because when you're older, you look at things more with experience instead of imagination. Like we don't imagine as much as we did when we were younger because I've got experience that can tell me just about everything that I need. So like you related more with Bastion because there were things that he was going through, like you just said, that you were immediately, you got a connection to him immediately through experiences in your life. Whereas a kid, there's a reasonable chance that you as a 6 or 7 year old kid, you may never have been thrown in a dumpster. You may have that father figure that does that, but then you may not. You're not really, as a kid, you're not focused on those elements. You're focused on, oh, cool, this kid's skipping class. Oh, cool, this kid's got a book. He's going to go and sneak away and read it. And then by that point in the movie, like I said, you are already feeling like you're there with Bastion, with Atreyu, and then that happens. Yeah, and it's like it's almost like they George R.R. Martin the crap out of the thing. They were like, all right, we're not gonna give you a whole season, and then we're gonna kill off the Sean Bean. We're gonna do it right now.
Or Sean.
Sean. I love him so much, man. He dies way too much in movies.
Well, even he makes fun of it too whenever he talks about it. So he knows. He knows.
Yeah. So yeah, Artax, I apologize, my good horse. You just weren't around long enough for me to care about you.
We barely.
He's not around anymore. Don't worry.
Well, didn't he get him back at the end of the movie, or did he get a different horse?
When everything gets reset.
Yeah. He came. Yeah, Bastion. Well,
yeah, we wished him back into his existence.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
When he.
Yeah, and then he was out on the plains riding him again and everything.
Yeah.
So he comes back, but it's like we have to live through that. It does have a happy ending with that, but that still doesn't kill the trauma.
I had no trauma. I'm sorry.
No trauma for Brock.
I was like, that's it? Really? Yep. That's it? That's what? Everybody. So I understand it, and I will be empathetic to the people who were traumatized by that scene. I will share in your trauma with you at conventions, and if we talk about this. Like, yeah, that was really bad. Horse had no character development, but that was bad.
They are there.
Hug.
Yeah. So, and this brings me to another part for the actor that played Atreyu. And forgive me, I didn't look up his name before we did this.
Noah Hathaway.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And he does do conventions, by the way.
Does he?
Yes, he does do.
Because what I want to ask him is, why did he in 1/3 of this movie? Why were you dirty all the time? They had him in mud. They had him blowing sand and everything else. He was walking along the beach, getting his boots wet. I mean, this poor kid spent 1/3 of this movie just filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I guarantee you somebody's asking that before.
Well, I'm going to come to that in a minute. I'm going to
oh God.
Run down the notes here. So Morla, giant turtle out in the middle of the swamp. They're going to look for this. They're going to go start looking for the Southern Oracle. And so my brain immediately went to, hey, how can I help y'all?
Hey, how you doing?
What quest y'all be on?
Yeah, your Empress is sick. I can help you.
Oh, bless her heart.
It would make sense out in the middle of a swamp, right?
Yeah.
That's immediately where my brain went. I started laughing. She's like, "What's funny?" I'm like, the Oracle's on the side of the road selling boiled peanuts, trying to help people. So Morla, the giant turtle, which at first I thought it was just like a big boulder. It didn't look like a mountain that from the far off shot they were showing, just like a big boulder. And I'm like,
yeah, that's a mountain.
I'm like, yeah, he's gonna climb that. He's just gonna like step up on it. But then they got close to it and saw as much, a giant turtle shell. And the poor turtle, I felt bad for Morla for having like trees and grass growing out of his shell. But the thing kept sneezing because he was allergic to youth.
Wow.
That's what
that was it. That was the reason that Morla gave.
Utes.
I'm allergic to youth.
Utes.
Yeah.
Utes.
She's allergic to Utes. And me too, Morla. Me too.
She just had really bad congestion. She was trying to say, I'm allergic to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it said youth. It said
on the caption. It said youth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So because you know me, I have to watch closed caption because I'm half deaf. So I'm reading at the same time. It said,
"Yeah, I'm allergic to youth."
That's what it said, and I
honestly didn't know that. I always thought she said you. I was like, okay.
Maybe the closed captioning was wrong. It did not.
Oh,
pick
I'm sure
up
it was
everything.
right. That makes sense.
Well, it didn't pick on some. It didn't pick up on some of the dialogue, so some of the things were misquoted. So it very well could be it. But if Morla said that it was allergic to youth, I'm like, you know what? Me too. I can't be around kids too long either. I understand. So
it would have still been hilarious if she'd have been like, and don't worry about the vase. What vase? He just turns and knocks the vase over like the Oracle in Matrix. That's where the Matrix got that from.
Has to be. And if you're watching live and in the chat, throw some comments for us. We want to, we definitely want to see. And of course, while I take that quick break, like the video, like the live stream.
Yes.
And comment with your favorite emoji if you don't want to, embrace the conversation, and subscribe. Yeah. Did I plug everything
there you
right?
Go. I think
Are
so.
we YouTubing correctly?
I think we are. Yeah.
Okay. Ring the notification bell. I don't know. So anyway, all right. So Atreyu has learned he's got to walk 10,000 miles. And at that point, Jessica starts singing, I really walked 500.
The Proclaimers.
Yes. 500 more.
A little bit more than 500.
Well, but if you keep walking, eventually you'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what refresh my memory. I told you my short-term memory is not good.
He's told, Morla says he has to go see the Southern Oracle. She tells him how far it is, and he's already feeling like, it's hopeless. There's no point. I'm not going to do this. So
he's trudging through mud.
He's trying to get through the swamp, and I guess, he's somewhat, feeling, despair and over this.
He's going through his emo phase.
We also learned that there is a creature called the Gamork that has been hunting Atreyu as well.
Yeah.
So as Atreyu's trying to get through the swamp, we see that the Gamork is in heavy pursuit of him, and just when you think Atreyu is about to just sink into the swamp, out from the clouds comes this white dragon, and who swoops down and saves Atreyu just in time and carries him off.
Atreyu passes out.
I'm sorry, were you going to say something, Bo?
Oh, no, you're just talking about Gamork. You want to talk about nightmare trauma fuel?
Yeah.
Gamork.
Gamork was an excellent prop. Excellent puppet. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like, the wolf, the werewolf kind of look to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the eyes. The eyes were so intense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those nice green eyes.
Right.
So Falcor, which at one point my brain went to Falco and like Rock Me Amadeus. my brain was all in the 80s last night. So Falcor is voiced by Alan Oppenheimer, who is Skeletor in He-Man's Masters of the Universe. And man, they missed a golden opportunity to not have Falcor somehow just go, yeah. At one point.
I think they just announced Alan for
Huntsville.
Yeah, so
he's going to be there for one day, and you better believe I'm bringing one of my unopened Skeletor figures for him to sign. 100%. I love him. But Falcor was really awesome. I know that he was a real, they built a giant sized dragon for this thing. Wow, excellent job. Like I said, the practical effects and the puppetry in this movie was just beautiful.
So I'm going to veer slightly, just a tad.
Okay.
Because this is in regarding Falcor. But if anybody, I'm sure everybody has seen the social media post that apparently the Falcor was found in a storage building. It's been in different states. It's
was it an unclaimed baggage?
Hoggle is.
Yeah.
So this,
wait. found in different states, like different states of distress, or different, like he was divided up in Illinois?
No, I mean, you've heard it like it's almost kind of like an urban legend situation where it's like they claim that it was found in this city or it was found in this one.
So he was found in like pieces.
Well, I don't even know.
Just like William Wallace and Braveheart, baby.
Oh man.
Hang on, let's see. Well, let's see. Give me just a second here. Y'all keep talking. But
she's gotta do some research. So we're okay. So he's Falkor, right? So Falkor takes him. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it has been a little bit since I've seen it. But Falkor, the next stop is the Sphinx Gate.
Well.
Yeah,
When he wakes up with Falkor, he's clean. Did
Like
Falkor?
how?
Yeah, I was sitting there. I looked over at Jess.
Air dried. He air
I'm like,
dried.
did Falkor lick him at some point to clean him up like a cat? I didn't know, but then turns out you've got those two other, like the Robert Englund looking troll guy in the cave, that apparently they were nice and cleaned Atreyu up.
Oh, I bet they did.
He was out for a couple of days, man. You know. Terrible.
So okay, yes, if you found your think about Falkor, please, before we get ourselves in trouble.
No, because I'm saying, like, when this first came out, somebody actually said that this was found, that they found this in Alabama, in a storage unit in Alabama. And I think
Falkor?
Okay. And I think
He was
that
hanging out with the Southern
Where
Oracle.
can you get a storage unit that big? That's what I want to know.
no, it's just hang on a second. Give me just a second. I'm gonna share a screen here.
Just go ahead and say it's an unclaimed baggage, okay?
It's got to be.
Well, and I think that's what some people were like equating that to the hoggle thing.
He's in Scottsboro.
See, just look up Falkor in storage unit. But there's this picture that's going around that you just see the head of it there.
Imagine opening up a storage unit that hasn't been paid, and that's looking at you.
Look, that is.
I
like
would watch that
Wars.
episode of Storage Wars.
Yeah.
that is like the gem of Storage Wars right there. Anyway, just
Yep.
y'all look into that. Y'all Google that. But anyway, there's the story going around that, we found him in the storage unit. And I think it's just somebody, I don't think it's the actual one that was used in the movie. It was something that somebody rebuilt at some point in time.
Wow, that's commitment.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to veer off too much on that. But like I said, you can search that. You can internet search that.
It's
story.
probably been in the Dragon Con parade at some point.
You know what? It probably has.
Yeah.
It probably. And I noticed, that this was definitely before the days of CGI, because whenever you saw Falkor at the screen, you only saw him from like just under his chin up, because he's had to sit on the floor in order to make it look like, in front of a green screen to put him in all the scenes.
Yeah.
But that didn't take away from him. He's a beautiful prop.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Oddly enough, just the way that he moved and the way that he looked and the detail kind of reminded me of Jabba the Hutt in a way.
Yeah.
He just kind of had that level of detail.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the amount of puppeteers and stuff that had to be in that thing to actually make it work was probably insane.
Oh yeah,
oh,
absolutely
incredible. Yeah. But when he's on Falkor, when Atreyu's on Falkor flying around, reminded me so much of Soarin' at Disney World when you go to Epcot. It really did look like that. So I was like, man, I need to go back to Disney.
And you can definitely see that green screen technology for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've so Falkor is rescued Atreyu. Atreyu's woke up. He's now found him a new best buddy, a companion, a luck dragon.
Yeah. But yeah, then as you were mentioning, Kevin, he gets to the Sphinx Gate.
You know what? Look, I'm gonna stop you there, Brock. I'm gonna stop you. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I was about to make a bad joke, and I'm not going to. But
it was cold apparently in the desert.
Okay. Yes. Don't. Okay. I was literally about to say that they went from one mound to another one, but
Yeah.
I went ahead
Again,
and did it.
should we have been seeing this as kids?
Yeah.
No, the justification was the fact that it was a mythical creature.
Yeah.
And a statue that, opened up its eyes and shot laser bolts at you. And it was apparently excited.
Well, okay, but the thing is like, we all felt bad about the horse dying, right? No one felt bad about the knight that went through there for the first time.
No, not at all. No.
You remember the
That
knight?
was so sad.
Yeah, it was like that
night.
dude's like, I'm just gonna go on through here because I'm feeling good, and then those things, it's like, oh yeah, we got to demo what they can do with their Death Star eyeballs.
Yeah, I can't lie. I didn't feel bad for the knight. If I can't feel bad for that horse, I can't feel bad for the knight because the knight.
No one felt bad for the knight. I just don't know why.
Because he had as much character development as the horse did.
Well, and also in true Brock fashion, he's watching the movie. He goes, "Why couldn't they have just gone around the thing?" I mean, apparently you could have gone.
Yeah,
you
because
didn't have to go.
You had the gate, and then you saw clear pathways around it. And I'm like, just walk around it.
But I mean, it's like, plus it's like Lord of the Rings. Why couldn't the Eagles just come and pick him up and take him to Mordor?
Yeah.
Get back on the luck dragon, fly over it.
Well, that's true too.
Oh wait, what? Oh, hang on. Ice Knight says those oracles I blame for my
So you're into bird feed. I get it. Okay.
So Ice Knight, I'm sensing you're about the same age that I am, and when you hit 8 years old, you start noticing things. Yeah.
Did you guys? Okay, look, I'm gonna try to save this conversation. Did you guys notice that the feet look suspiciously like the feet of the terror dogs?
Yeah, they did. They absolutely
very
did.
much
I did notice
like it.
that.
And I know Ice Knight, that's what you were attracted to, so that's fine.
No, I didn't notice that.
Look, he either like wings or feet. We're not going the other direction.
Huge tracts of land
that he could have walked around.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or
So-
like you said, got on the dragon and
just flown over.
flown over the top. Yeah.
Oh. hang on. I don't know if we're going to put
Brock's
that on
thinking
screen.
about putting that up there.
All right, go back and watch the chat replay.
But okay,
Yeah.
Brock. The reason they didn't go around it, and the reason that they didn't fly over it was it's a challenge, and you have to beat this challenge. You have to be worthy.
Yeah.
I always like to
go by.
Also, I think it's funny how sometimes Brock likes to think realistically in movies that are fantasy-based movies. He's trying to justify it, and I'm like, you've got a flying dragon, and you've got all this other things. It's
you got to pick and choose when you're suspecting disbelief.
You have to think like your imagination. This knight that looks, I mean, granted he looked evil, but he goes by and he gets blown up. But you are the hero, right? You made it past that. Granted, barely, but because you see those eyes open and then your butt starts clenching up, and you're like,
yeah.
And then he made it past it, but you were the hero. You were better than that knight. You have to use your imagination. You can't.
That's right.
You can't. Okay. You have to suspend logic in this movie.
A lot of logic. Yeah.
You do.
It's a movie based on a world that's created by fantasy and imagination.
Yep.
And it's literally being eaten by something called the nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be a lack of imagination. So logic is eating the world, basically.
Yep. That's right.
Spock would be sad.
Ice Knight's right. That night was cooked crispy.
That's right. Well done. Crispy critter.
Oh, me. Oh.
All right.
So, help me out here. Where are we going from?
Okay.
My notes are running out.
Oh, your notes are running out. Okay.
I didn't have to take that many because there was just...
Did you...
So, we learned that he's got to go to the second gate, which is tougher than the first gate. And it's a mirror. It's the mirror where you look in, that shows you your true self. So
again, Hogwarts.
Yeah, here we go. So when Atreyu reaches the mirror, that's when he sees Bastion on the other side. And about this time, Bastion's getting a little freaked out. He takes that book.
That's when he throws the book. Yeah.
He's like, he's a little spooked right now.
And he told the bookstore keeper that he was going to bring it back to him. He's going to owe him some money.
Yeah. So apparently, here we go. Atreyu sees Bastion, and for some reason, Bastion looks up, and I guess he can see Atreyu, but it freaks him out. He throws the book. He's getting a little, freaked out now because he's realizing that, do they really know about me and Fantasia kind of thing. So
yeah.
And guys, this was before ChatGPT, so it wasn't AI writing this.
Okay.
Yeah,
we just stopped?
We sure did.
Movie's over.
I was wanting you to keep going, Jess.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, anyway, it's like, okay, we got to keep, pressing on here. He picks the book back up and he starts back, and let's see, where are we at? Hold on. I'm trying to get my notes here.
I'll pull the movie up and I'll fast forward through it. Hang on.
Yeah.
So yeah, a mirror that views its true self. It reveals an image of Bastion reading the book. Then that's when Atreyu finally gets to the Southern Oracle, who explains to Atreyu,
Welcome, y'all.
hey y'all, how you doing? Let me tell you what you need to do here. So he learns that the cure for the Empress is to find a human child that lives beyond the boundaries of Fantasia.
A child.
And the Empress needs a new name.
Yeah.
So, which, while Bastion is reading this, he's like,
Hey, Chase. Chase Ambrose joins us. Jess, is that a Doc Holliday shirt?
It is, as a matter of fact, but it is my Thanksgiving shirt. It's I'm your cranberry.
And she got it at Buc-ee's.
Thanks to Bo. Bo was the one that tipped me off about that, by the way. Yeah, so we've learned the cure for the Empress is a new name.
A new name, and apparently Bastion has to give her this name because he's the human child who's now becoming one with this book.
Mm-hmm.
And the name he screams for the Empress at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
There's no way that was his mother's name, because it was referenced that, I've already got a name, my mother's name.
Mm-hmm, right. His mother had a beautiful name. He wishes he could give the Empress that name. Sorry. So yeah. And as Atreyu is talking to the Southern Oracle, we see that the nothing is coming back in and it starts to consume the Southern Oracle. He gets on Falcor and they flee. They're trying to outrun the nothing. But in the course of this, Atreyu gets knocked off of Falcor.
And nothing turns into something.
And he falls into the sea.
Beach.
The sea of he falls into the sea of possibilities, but when we see him, he's washed up on the shore.
I'm going to show it. All right. So Ice Knight says Soleil Moon Frye would disagree that it couldn't be her name.
Well, it's also
I have a comment.
Okay.
Coming.
All right. So he wakes up. He's on the shore. He starts going into this area that is like some ancient ruins, and he finds these murals that have been like depicting his adventure along the way. And one of those murals that he sees is Gmork. And at that time, they kind of have their confrontation with each other, where he, reveals himself and explains that Fantasia represents humanity's imagination and is thus without boundaries, while the nothing is a manifestation of the loss of hopes and dreams. So at this time, he's telling you, like,
we find Gmork as an agent for the nothing.
Yeah, he kind of works. Yeah, he's part of, he works with the nothing there. And that he's been, hunting the warrior, which Atreyu reveals himself. I am Atreyu. So lunges at Atreyu. Atreyu stabs him. Gmork is dead.
Yeah. And
no more Gmork.
Again, the second time in this movie, I went, that's it?
Yeah. It was not very climactic, his death.
It was not.
So
again, it was like it was written by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, and at this time too, we think that he also, when he woke up, he didn't have the Orin around his neck. So
Speaking of the Orin, go ahead, Kev.
Shows
Oh, you want me to show it? Yeah. There we go. This is the Orin. There you go.
There you go.
And then on the back side of it, it says, what was it called? Do what you wish. On the
Gotcha.
back side. That's awesome. And just before you get further ahead, I found a screenshot of this. Anybody that was, was a kid when you saw this, there was a part of this that was kind of nightmare fuel, and it was when the childlike, it was when we first met the childlike princess, and we were talking about how she was sick and yada yada, and then you see all these really interesting characters that are surrounding her, and then we had this.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
What in the crap was this?
This reminded me, for some reason, I don't know why, Return to Oz.
Yes, it does.
Popped into my head when I saw this.
I would see that, yeah, because she's.
I mean, the dude in the back looks like one of the Jedi Masters from Star Wars.
He does.
What was it with multiple face characters in the 80s? It was always some kind of revolving head type thing.
I'm telling you, we had nightmare fuel like you wouldn't believe back in the 80s.
This was this movie as a kid was a roller coaster of emotions, because it's like you're like feeling awesome, and then you're feeling bad, and then they throw this crazy stuff at you, and they kill a horse, and then oh cool, we killed, like Jess said, we killed the evil wolf, and all, and it's just like, it's no wonder it didn't mess with us when we were kids, because I mean it was just a roller coaster of emotions. It was up and down,
Oh yeah.
Chase is going to take us off topic really quickly, and that's okay, because this is an interesting fact to me that I didn't know. Chase says about Just a Shirt Nice, Doc was from Macon, Georgia, and if you didn't know, the Huckleberry line was a reference to the Hucks, the AKA hinged handles on caskets. So in Tombstone, he's saying, I'll bury you.
I love Tombstone. That is one
I had no idea that's what that line meant. That's fantastic. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, thanks.
I love learning that.
Hey, don't apologize. Totally.
Yes.
You said totally off topic.
Love Tombstone.
No.
Yes.
Hey, that's
Love Tombstone. One of our favorite movies. So the anticlimactic death of Gamork. I really wish they hadn't killed him off. I wanted to see more of him, because he was a great. I really liked him as the villain in this.
Yeah.
He had a great look. Great. I applaud the puppetry work in this thing.
right.
He should have been voiced by Bruce Campbell. It would have been made it.
Well, and actually, if I am correct, also Alan Oppenheimer also did the voice of Gamork too.
Did he?
He did the voice of Falkor, Gamork, and the Rockbiter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alan Oppenheimer, the voice of our childhood, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. I thought he was just Falcor. That's cool.
So yeah, but as Gamork's dying, the nothing is.
We're not going scene by scene, are we?
No.
Okay.
No. The nothing is sweeping through, and Falkor once again rescues Atreyu. They're flying through now. Fantasia has totally broken apart at this point, and they're, he feels like he's failed in his quest, and he lets the Orin guide him, and then lo and behold, in the distance, there's the ivory tower, still standing. So this
floating
is
on a rock, but it's still there.
Yeah, it's floating on a rock there. Yeah. So we get to Atreyu finally coming, approaching the Empress, and here we go. Here is all the twists and the climatic ending to this story. Did you make any notes at this point?
Only about the name.
Okay. All right. So
when Bastion figures out that he's got to be the one to name the Empress, because she calls out to him, she's in the book and she calls out to him. It freaks him out. Whatever else, she's like, "Say my name."
Yeah. Because he learns now that
I am the one who knocks. Say my name.
Yeah. Empress is telling Atreyu. Yeah, because Atreyu thinks he did not bring the child with him, but the Empress says, "But you have." And he's
by
been
the
with
way,
us, and
I don't know how old the actress was that played the Empress, but a child that age should not have that many wrinkles and bags under her eyes.
I thought she had.
Maybe it's because I watched it in high def.
Dude.
What?
She was
sick.
Man.
It looked like my eyes. under there.
She was sick.
Well, she had a sick name.
She got down with the sickness.
She did. So the name, apparently his mother's name that Bastion screamed out, Moonchild.
Moonchild.
So was his dad's name Frank Zappa?
I don't.
That was my comment.
It might have been.
I totally forgot about Soleil Moon Frye there, Ice Knight, and I apologize because Punky Brewster was one of my first crushes as a kid. So shame on me for not thinking that direction.
So it's never really said in the movie, but we know his first name is Bastion. But in the credits, his name is listed, like if you look it up, his full name is Bastian Balthazar Bucks. And his dad's name is Barney Bucks. So
with a name like that, how could they have ever expected this kid not to take a book from a weird stranger in a library?
It just reminds me of Michael Bay's first Transformer and Bernie Mac, Uncle Bobby B, baby.
So yes, we don't know. We know that Bastion was eager to name the Empress and give her his mother's name because she had a beautiful name.
Well, that's debatable, but Moonchild being the mother's name and their names like that now makes a ton of sense to me.
How does that clarify things for you now?
Moonchild is now not out of the realm of weirdness.
So to close the movie out, Empress and Bastion, she's showing him a grain of sand and says that he can rebuild Fantasia with his imagination and his wishes, and the more wishes he makes, the more beautiful Fantasia will grow. And
she turns him into a genie.
Yeah, right. Unlimited wishes.
Yeah. Phenomenal cosmic power.
Itty bitty space.
And literally because it was just the ivory tower. That was it. It was the itty bitty living space.
Yeah. And what was who had the line, what do you know of Fantasia or something like that? And my brain immediately went to, well, Mickey's in it as a sorcerer.
Yeah, there you go.
I just looked it up. The Empress actress was 12. I hope you feel bad now.
Well, she definitely is old now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dude, she was sick.
Those must have been city miles.
Yeah.
She just got out of the Dragon Con parade, man. Give her a break.
All right, so 84. So I was 8. So she's 4 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
No, probably 5 because when they were filming this was probably in 83.
Yeah.
So she's 5 years older than me. So that would put her at 50.
Mm-hmm.
At 53.
And I think she does cons as well too. I've seen people post stuff of people being hurt.
You gotta go ask her why she looks so old when she was 12, bro.
Why are you old?
Why do you look so old?
What happened to you?
Well, who knows? I mean, we've had a lot of these fantasy type stories where somebody looks young, but they're actually, like 200 years old. So who knows?
It's like when you had all the teenagers in the 80s movies, they were actually in their mid-20s.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
20 and 30-year-olds playing teenagers. Yeah. But we also learned that, when he recreates Fantasia, he's flying on the back of Falcor and he's seeing everything's come back. He's reset everything. So Falcor asks him, what do you wish next? And it's time for some retribution to the bullies.
Yeah. That
totally normal that a white
I'm
dragon
gonna have my luck dragon eat the bullies now.
Yeah.
So there's Falcor and Bastion flying towards the bullies. And they knock them in that same dumpster.
Mm-hmm. Payback.
Excuse me. Payback. Falcor is laughing his head off. And I'm like, wow, this Falcor is just a jerk. He's getting, I'm bad for talking about bags under a 12-year-old's eyes. And the Falcor is actually causing physical harm.
Yeah. He's loving the fact that he's torturing, and scaring poor kids,
But on the other hand, that is a very Skeletor thing to do.
True. Yes.
What I want to know is, did Bastion bring back the night that went through the Sphinx Gate?
We don't.
Did that happen in the sequel?
Plot hole. I don't know. I never saw the
You
I
ever saw
think
the thing?
Bastion's a pretty cool guy.
Falcor knew what they did. Chase.
He gave him the scoop. He's like, these guys are jerks.
You're talking about the sequel. That's the one I've seen the most because they used to air it all the time on Disney Channel, which you need to watch the sequel. I like that one.
Ice Knight says, I heard there were book sequels that were never translated into English.
I don't know about that.
We don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw the movie last
I'm
night.
scared now.
Yeah. Have no idea.
Have to look into that.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to watch the sequel.
I get it.
I told him I've never watched the sequel either, so I got nothing to go by.
And I'm sorry, I was distracted while you were talking, Bo. You've seen the sequel?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. They used to air it a lot on Disney Channel, like in the mid to late 90s.
How is it?
I like it. It's the one I've seen more than I have the original. You can tell it's got a bigger budget in it. Yeah, there's a third movie too. Yeah.
Jay says there's a direct-to-video sequel that he's never seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
so there's a trilogy of these things.
Yeah,
I think the direct-to-video sequel is what they based the Ringu movie on for the Ring.
Okay.
and like it's not consistent because like the sequel, it's Bastion is played by you know him. He was the cliche '80s kid, but Jonathan Brandis. He was like in a million things. He plays Bastion, and John Wesley Shipp plays his dad in the sequel.
Really, The Flash.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So, if anything for that, there you go. Like I said, the childlike interest is different. Like there's nobody here who is the same.
Jay says, based on the title, they should never stop making them.
Yes.
It's a never-ending story.
It's like the song that never ends. I mean, it's
Yeah.
So
It's Freebird.
here's a fun fact. Korn's
It's like-
album, The Nothing, is named directly in reference to the nothing in the film.
Okay,
There
that
we
makes
go.
Korn
sense.
frontman Jonathan Davis chose the title as he was still struggling with the death of his estranged wife.
Wow.
Okay. And then, of course, we all know, the pop culture reference with Stranger Things. We all know about that. So, all the stuff that's, this movie has popped up over the course of, the years since it's been out.
And I can always think there was the Family Guy cutaway of where Peter refers to riding a foul car. Yeah,
yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Somehow I'm just imagining the never-ending story is like it never ends, and then you just like it gets to the end of the movie and you just see like some kid like Bastion sitting there writing out another story. And then the movie stays with that for like 3 days. And that's all you see is just him sitting there.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, guys, we're ready to go again.
Occasionally, he'll shake his hand from the cramps. And
Yes.
it hurts.
But there we go.
There we
Brock
go.
has viewed the never-ending story.
I have seen it.
He
It
can
has
mark that
ended
off
for
of his
Brock.
list. Yeah, this story has ended for Mark.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm now curious about the sequels. Now that I know there's 2 of them floating out there, I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I'm going to pursue them. I have a whole other list here that I need to go down before I dive into that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's better
Yep.
movies to watch before you
Right.
get to it.
Yeah. Yep. Ice Knight says movie 1 down. Yep. And I'm going to have some time off during the hot. Excuse me. I eat spaghetti in the sauce. I got the hiccups. So I've got some time over the holidays. Maybe I'll dive back into them. But I do have a list, and just before I get to the list, because I want people to chime in on this. Just closing thoughts. The movie did not hit me like it would as a child, as we've said. But looking at it and remembering, movies from that time frame, I thought it was good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about it. Just because I realized the context outside of I had no emotional attachment to Artax.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to think back on it in that respect of kids were traumatized because they love their ponies and their horses. And
Well, apparently there was a rumor out there that the horse really died, but the director confirmed that the horse did survive. It says, in fact, 2 identical horses were used for the scene, and they were professionally trained by a horse handler for months. So
cool.
I guess some people thought that was a real life death scene, and yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
But good movie. Enjoyed it. Hopefully the rest of these movies on this list will shake out that way. I got a feeling that they will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
yeah.
No lies detected there.
No, that's the truth.
Ice Night says movies emotionally abused us for fun in the 80s.
You guys remember when Netflix first started, when they started becoming big, and they would just throw money at anybody to make content for them because they just they needed content. So you could get anybody could get anything made. That's what the 80s were like without Netflix.
Yeah.
Like they would just give money to anybody to make movies. They didn't care.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then they would actually get aired prime time on like some site, like a cable channel or a primetime channel, and you just kids, you would watch this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another right before we quit. Another little fact here, Brock.
Okay.
The quote: "The childlike empress was just childlike. She has existed for as long as there have been stories to tell." So again,
So
she just chooses to be a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Apparently.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just kind of reading through some of the little trivia points. Yeah.
And Chase says, yeah, Kevin's right. The big reason was the VHS boom.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's true.
They took more chances in the 80s because they had the money to get rid of it.
It was it was nuts. I remember everything came out on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's reason why movies like the Peanut Butter Solution got made too. So
I'm going to go back and watch that one at some point.
Oh gosh,
there's a Facebook group I'm part of. It's like the video store backrooms or whatever. But like a post about that movie comes up about once a week, and I keep directing them. I'm like, hey, my friends on the podcast, we talked about this. Come listen.
So I tell you what, we will make a poll at some point somewhere. I'm going to read down this list of movies that that came from the last live chat. So if you're in the chat right now, if you hear one, shout it out that I should watch next. If you are watching a replay or listening on the audio feed, then leave us a comment on social media or. Chase says Katie thumbs up the peanut butter solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give it a thumbs up. I won't say where, but I'll give it a thumbs up.
You introduced that craziness into our life.
Yeah, you did that.
You did that to us.
Yeah, that was my bad. Okay. So, like I said, if you're in the live chat right now, shout this out before the end of the episode. If not, leave a comment on the YouTube replay, and we'll go from there as to what movie we watch next, or I watch next, because everybody else has seen these except me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got The Goonies, we've got Maximum Overdrive, Big Trouble in Little China, Night of the Comet, which apparently just celebrated an anniversary because I've been seeing it on Facebook recently.
Yeah.
We've also got Willow. I'm very sorry, Robin, I have not seen that, and you're in it. Bo has added Legend to this list, and of course Labyrinth. So let us know in the comments on YouTube on this video which of these I should watch next: Goonies, Maximum Overdrive, Big Trouble in Little China, Night of the Comet, Willow, Labyrinth, or Legend. And Chase says y'all should do Super Tromet action movie Go. Not because I was in it.
Yeah.
It was,
I still need to watch that.
Okay.
I think I've seen part of that just because of you, Chase. Because
short-term memory.
If I'm remembering correctly, in this movie, Chase had on a powder blue T-shirt, and
waiting on confirmation for that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember what I saw of it. I do remember one clip that had the AD. Okay, yeah, assistant director. There you go. I do remember some clip that Chase showed at one point where he got smashed in the face with a tree branch.
Yes, yeah, I know that one. I know that clip.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, Chase is like up against the wall and a branch goes through his face, and you hear him go, "Ah!" I do remember that. So, oh my.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I
Okay.
think since you've done NeverEnding Story,
Mhm.
I'm ready for you to see Labyrinth.
Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
Yeah.
You have to see David Bowie in all his glory.
All his glory.
Glory.
Yeah.
I know what you're referencing.
I just think that's a good follow up for NeverEnding Story. So
Thank you, Ice Knight. That's realistic noise sound. Noise sounding. I can't read. So yeah, that's Jennifer Connelly, right? From Labyrinth.
yes.
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 That alone is reason enough for me to watch it.
See, there's some motivation for you right there.
I love Jennifer Connelly.
What was
She
that?
was very
saying?
underage in that one, though.
Wow. Okay. Never mind.
He did make the comment. He was like, hopefully the next one we watch will have a better soundtrack, which I did remind him. I said, well, when we get to Maximum Overdrive, I said, you got AC/DC
Oh,
there.
my God.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that just based off soundtrack alone.
I mean, the movie's good.
The movie opens up, and the first thing you see is Stephen King.
Yeah.
Honey,
really wanna
this
see
thing
that,
called
though?
me an a-hole.
Is that really the visual I want just to start off a movie? Is Steven? He's
It's
not
amazing. It's
he's not
amazing,
attractive.
dude.
Steven is
incredible.
There's one other actor. She's more voice acting. I'm curious when you see her pop into the movie.
Yep.
Yep. See, Chase agrees. Lap. There you go.
Okay, so yeah, so Chase says, there it is. Labyrinth is a good follow-up, especially since there is the display at the Museum for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta, which you can visit next DC.
Yeah.
I've actually been to the Center for Puppetry Arts.
I haven't.
You
I
haven't?
need to
No,
go.
I
They
haven't
have-
been.
It is
If
super
they have the
cool.
Labyrinth display, you
know.
need to go.
Yeah.
I went when it was I think it was in Seattle when I went, and it was just amazing. You need to go
What
see
was the big after I've seen part of the Dark Crystal, the one-eyed with the horns, look like an old grandma.
it. Flying
Um,
Purple People Eater? What?
Yeah, yeah. That was in there when I was last at the Puppetry Arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool place.
I mean, I've never been. I want to go so bad.
Let's go.
All the times we go to Atlanta and we never make it over there.
We
so.
will.
yeah.
We'll make a special trip next time for sure. That's a really cool place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially now that there's a Labyrinth, I will display. I will watch Labyrinth and then go and appreciate it even more because I probably didn't even pay attention to it last time because
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
Well, let's hope there's not literally a labyrinth there, or else you'll never get home.
Hey! So okay, and unless the chat and comment say otherwise, Labyrinth will be next on the list.
Cool.
I look forward to your review of that. That's,
Okay.
that's great. That's,
I need to
that's
rewatch it. It's
I
been
will.
about 15, 20 years since I've watched it.
Well, it's on Pluto too. You can
Awesome.
get it through. There's a lot of. I mean, it's out there for streaming all over the place right now, especially on Pluto. I know that for a fact.
Well, I don't want to do any of these reviews without all four of us present, and I know next episode on December 8th, next live stream, Kevin will not be with us, and Bo may or may not be. We
Yeah.
don't know yet. The live stream coming December 8th, we will have Gary Jones from the Alabama Theater with us once again, talking about the holiday film series at the Alabama Theater. If you don't have tickets for one of those showings, you might be out of luck.
Mhm.
So many of those are already sold out, but
Yeah.
we're all going to go see Die Hard yet again for that one. But we'll have Gary on to talk about I'm sorry, Chase is throwing me off with this. Chase says Labyrinth and then
Super trauma action movie.
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
okay.
yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. I was like Stamgo. Then Ice Knight says I have to check Tubi, see if it's on there as well.
Probably so. There's a lot of streaming options for Labyrinth out there that are free.
Okay. So December 8th, the next time we're live, Gary Jones from Alabama Theater will be with us. And then our schedule is going to change, our streaming schedule. We are going to be here again, well, at least these two guys will be here again on December 15th, the week after our next live stream. So you're going to get us 2 weeks in a row. Jess and I will not be here for that one. So Bo and Kevin are going to cook up some good stuff for you on December 15th, and then we'll all be hopefully back. No, we won't all be back together on the. Labyrinth review is going to come in January, probably.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, because I won't be here at the end of the month. So
yeah. It's going to be a couple of times we'll be without Kevin next month. So, but we'll get there. I promise. I will watch Labyrinth, and we will get there.
Yeah. It's just we're running into that time of year, the holidays and everything. And
well, I will say I'm going to talk about this over with Bo, and if you can stomach this, we may actually have you guys something really interesting for our December 15th, and I'll tell you what it is in the minute.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it, and I'm not going to mention it here in the event that you're like, no freaking way. But we'll talk about it here shortly.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
We need handsome Chase Ambrose might need to be part of one of our shows one of these days.
You know what?
I think so.
All right. Chase, you know us. We are a PG podcast.
I don't know what I'm going to suggest to Bo about what we do on the 15th. We might could get Chase in here and it would be fun.
You know what? I kind of saw your screen. I saw your screen in the preview.
Don't you say anything.
I'm not saying it, but I will say Chase would be awesome for that. Chase would be awesome for that.
No. No, yeah.
We love you, Chase. I think having Chase on for that one on the 15th would be a good idea.
I just hate we're going to miss out on that.
I do too. We'll have to watch the replay. We're going to be at an event that night. You can't miss.
Okay. Do you not? Okay. We'll talk about it in a minute. Okay.
Yeah. So, I agree. Bring Chase on for that one.
I didn't see it, so that's why I had to.
It's fine, but we'll take it in a minute. I don't want to mention anything because in the event that you don't want to do it, I want to give you an out.
Oh man.
So, join us on social media everywhere at Bama Geeks. Keep this conversation going. Leave a comment in the replay chat or on the video. If you don't want to leave, just text. Leave your favorite emoji. Leave. They have dragon emojis. Leave a dragon emoji for Falcor.
Yeah.
How about that? There you go. You can join us everywhere, including now Blue Sky at Bama Geeks. Also, again, if you haven't seen it yet, BamaGeeks.com. Our website is live. Audio episodes are on there. Blog posts. We've got the videos, live streams that are on there. Reviews that are populated from iTunes and Spotify. So if you don't mind leaving us a review and leaving us a rating, that will automatically populate into the website. A 5-star if you really liked it. We had a lot of fun this episode. Hopefully you did too. And also don't forget on BamaGeeks.com, go to the lower right-hand corner of the website, of the screen, click that microphone, and you can leave us a voicemail. And as long as you keep it clean and PG, we'll use it on one of the shows.
But I mean, you know what? He forgot to do the ones this time around from not Kevin. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, short-term memory is awesome. I wish I had it. Also, hit join down below on YouTube. You can. We've got a couple of tiers on there. So one that will get you access to extra special episodes, private episodes for our members. You can also access those on patreon.com/BamaGeeks. And going on right now, use the code Bama Friday at patreon.com/BamaGeeks, and you will get 75% off your first month's membership from now until December 2nd at 11:59 Central Time. And believe me, it'll be about $1, and that's about all that membership's worth. So go ahead and I'll buy that for $1.
Buy that for $1.
So patreon.com/Bama Geeks. Use that promo code Bama Friday from now until the end of December 2nd, Cyber Monday. That's our little, I guess it's a gift. It may be one that you want to return.
If you want to look at it that way.
No refunds.
Yeah, no refunds.
All you get is in-store credit.
Yeah. So there you go. Patreon.com/Bama Geeks. Promo code Bama Friday. Get us for $1. You know.
That's right.
You get what you pay for.
Got a question. There, Ice Knight.
What's that?
He was asking about the
here we
schedule.
go. Yeah. Says, all right. Ice Knight said, is the schedule on the website for who's going to be on each week? We are trying to do that. I will do better at that. Just know right now, December 8th for sure is Gary Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We just nailed him down this past week, so that's why it wasn't publicized. But you know what? I will make a concerted effort to make sure that schedule's on there. At the very top of the website, it does tell you, that we do go live every other Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna, like I said, we'll do back to back December 8th and December 15th. And then the 29th will be the previous or the next episode.
Mm-hmm. So
Ice Knight, I will do my absolute best to keep that updated. Sometimes guests, we can't get them to the last minute, but we'll certainly do our best.
Now, I think Ice Knight was talking about so that he can make sure that he's not here when Kevin's here. He
no,
he just doesn't want to miss me. So.
And Chase said, I have no idea what's happening, but I'm excited. Oh, you're going to love it, Chase.
Chase, you're going to love this, dude.
And then Ice Knight, thank you again so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
We appreciate you.
Always
I will say,
time.
if Bo
Thank
agrees with what we're talking about, just to kind of a bit of a spoiler, you might want to come with some drink in hand.
That won't be a problem.
It's like, I got some already.
Oh my. Oh my. So yeah, hit BamaGeeks.com. That's going to be where we'll try to keep everybody the most up to date. Of course, social media is instantaneous, but everything related to the podcast will be hosted on BamaGeeks.com from here on out. So, all right. I think we're going to wrap it up. We cannot thank you guys enough for being here tonight and being a part of the live stream. If you're catching us afterwards, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching the replay. And Jay says, I always do, Kevin.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we thank you so much. We're gonna dip out of here, and you guys have a wonderful night. We love you.
Thank you.
Being part of us. For Bo and Kevin and Jess, I'm Brock, and
happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Yeah,
yes.
Happy Thanksgiving.
How can we duck out of here without saying that?
Yeah.
So
hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of goodies, and we're going to be enjoying, like we posted on our socials, a whole pecan pie.
Don't you bring that pecan in here?
Golden Eagle syrup pecan pie. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got the pies. That's good stuff. So again, thanks so much for joining us. We love you. We'll catch you guys live again December 8th. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye, guys.